Your grandparents died and left you an inheritance, but your parents stole it and tried to sacrifice you. Now that you have survived, they are trying to cover it up before you can figure it out and expose them. This is a quick message from the universe. Chosen one. It's getting crazy out here, chosen one. You know, the world, it's getting crazy, but it's changing, right? Because the chosen ones are activated, the frequency of the planet is uplifted, and we are literally sitting back and just watching the chaos unfold. We watching karma take its hand to all these individuals who have been getting away with doing wrong. TikTok, this is for educational purposes, entertainment purposes, whatever I gotta say to make y'all not flag this shit. It's for educational purposes. Well, chosen one, you lost somebody that held you very dear to your heart, very dear to their heart. You know, like a grandparent or parent, right? And what I'm seeing is this individual, this grandparent, granddad or grandma, or both, they left you an inheritance. Now, when this person passed away, and typically grandparents, they love the grandkids more than they love the parents, right? I need you to really feel this where I'm coming from, and it's gonna make sense. Grandparents typically love the grandkids more than they love the regular kids. It's not because they don't love their kids, but it's something about seeing your children have children, it just does something to you. I haven't seen it, but from what I've experienced and what I've heard, you mean so much more to your parent, to your grandparents, just because you are your parents' child. Well, you had a grandma or a granddad that they came up and they was a hard worker. And this person, they've saved up all this money, they had an insurance plan, and something happened, and they became sick or they got an ailment, and they knew they was gonna go, and they left you an inheritance, a very long inheritance. One of them mutual funds, one of them funds that you walk away with $1 million or $2 or $3, depending on the plan, right? And so this person was in their deathbed or whatever, and they said, you know what, I'm gonna leave this to my grandbaby. This my baby. Make sure that she always straight. Or make sure that he always straight. But your parents ain't like that. And I want you to follow this with me, right? Your parents ain't like that. They got together and they talked about it, and one of your parents said, hey, why the fuck she leaving that money? Or why the fuck they leaving that money to such and such? They ain't gonna do nothing with that. Nah, we they parents, we need to get that. And so this little idea turned into a hunger, a greed, and they started thinking about all the money. You see, your grandparent, they didn't die instantly. They was on the bed. They people watched them transition. And you might have been young, didn't know about it, or you might have been in jail, or just going through it, man. You outside, whatever, right? You know how the chosen ones of life be. Well, your parents came up with a plan. They said, you know what, we're gonna get them out the way, we're gonna sacrifice them. And this is why your parents started to act funny in those times when your grandparents was sick, or when your grandparent was dying, because it was about the money. See, chosen one, this is why they kicked you out the house, knowing you ain't had nowhere to go, knowing that you had shit going on in the streets, and they kicked you out. This is why they tried to, act like you was crazy. Some of y'all parents started calling the police on y'all, trying to get y'all put in the crazy house, doing anything that they could do to get you out the way. Chosen one, some of your peoples even went as far as poisoning you, even went as far as tampering with the car and then letting you drive the car. But you survived, chosen one. And so your grandparents died, they stole their inheritance, whatever, they finessed the signature, they did whatever they did to change the will and take the money. And, they ain't spent this money yet. This money is still put up, chosen one. And it didn't make sense to you, because you said, yo, I know grandma, man. I know grandma had a bag. Grandma had this, grandma had that. Granddaddy, granddaddy worked all his life. There's no way in hell, to the family, they act like they were struggling to figure out how to bury this person, and it just didn't make sense. They had to struggle to come up with the money for the funeral. Whole time, shit already paid for. They had to struggle to come up with the money for the funeral, Chosen, and it just seemed like everybody was doing bad. And you could never figure out, why is my people acting so funny? I'm here to tell you, Chosen One, they stole your inheritance. They put you outside, they stole your inheritance. They did things to hope to see you in the grave. See, Chosen One, to some people, $1 million is a lot of money, and that will make them turn against their own seed. See, when you have people that have never had nothing and never experienced something, this is how people accumulate generational wealth every now and again if you do it the right way. Somebody has an insurance policy, they pass away, they pass it on, the kids invest, the family takes off. But you ain't got one of those families, Chosen One. All your people were worried about is going to buy the newest car, going to buy another house, switching up their life, Chosen One. But see, they knew they couldn't just spend the money right away because they stole your inheritance. And you could never figure out, why grandma ain't leave me nothing? I was her baby. I'm here to tell you, Chosen. She did. He did. Your granddaddy left you something. He left you over $1 million. But your family, your parents stole it from you. And this is what made you become the black sheep. See, what they don't understand, though, Chosen One, when they tried to do all the things that they tried to do to you, it wouldn't work because you are a chosen one. And your grandma knew you was a chosen one. Your granddaddy knew you was a chosen one. That's why they chose you to get the inheritance. You get it? Chosen One. You was chosen. See, now, Chosen One, they are literally running around with chickens with their heads cut off because they are trying to figure out a way to keep you from realizing that they got your inheritance money sitting in the bank. And they're trying to cover it up, Chosen One. They're trying to cover it up. This is why you can't go home. This is why they don't want to help you do nothing. This is why before they give you anything, they will see you struggling. Although they are slowly spending the money that belongs to you. See, your parents stole from their dead parents because their parents left you an inheritance instead of them. And they did not like that, Chosen One. And a lot of y'all come from, places where your parents, they knew people that worked up there at the courthouse. They knew people, and they went up there and they finessed their way. And they said, "Look, man, you help us sign this will over. We're gonna put something good in your hands." That's all it takes. Your grandparents left you something, and your parents took it because greed overtook their heart. And now all the things that they were hoping and praying to happen to you haven't happened, and you got your head on straight. They don't know what they are going to do, and they are praying that you do not find out. Well, I'm here to tell you, Chosen One, that thought that you had in your mind about your inheritance being taken is there for a reason. See, some of y'all grandparents came in y'all dreams and told you and asked you why you ain't got your money. Some of your grandparents pulled up on you in a dream in a nice car and said, "Baby, why is you struggling? I left you everything." And you ain't understand the dream. It's a shame what people will do for a little bit of money. Your grandparents left you something that was going to change your life, but your parents' greed overtook them and they sacrificed you for it. And now that you survived, they don't know what to do.